Desperate attempts. That's all I saw. Desperate attempts. A shot at a storyline for a possible return. Nah, it didn't work. We're not buying it. And literally at the end of the season, we're not buying it. And old Ralphie boy has literally cranked his petty all the way up to the capital letter P. Yes, God. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 15, episode 15. We literally, I believe next week is the finale. I think we got one episode left. And this was just a desperate attempt for some things. I'm going to talk about it. Bob Whitfield, we don't want none of what you're selling. Do you understand? Pack up your things and go wherever it is that you've been. Sheree, you don't need anything else for a storyline at all. You don't need any desperate attempts for a new storyline. Just do you, boo. Trust me. The face-off that you got going on is enough. The face-off is quite enough. We got plenty to talk about. When you have episodes like this episode was horrible in the way of new face versus old face. Don't you ever allow anybody to film you like that again, where it's going back. I mean, it's one point where we see you know, your old face in part of the show, and then we see your new face at a whole nother time of the show 30 minutes later. But girl, when you jumping from confessionals to story to confessional to story right there, and it's the bet, you got a whole face-off battle, and you, girl, it's giving, honey, the two faces of Eve, honey, and you're Eve, honey. It is a mess. It is a mess, and I'm gonna talk about that. But that's storyline enough right there. You got enough storyline with you and your alter ego. Puffy versus non-puffy. Horrible. Anyway, let's just start here. Dr. Jackie. Y'all know I loves me some Dr. Jackie because y'all know I loves me some Married to Medicine. So we had Dr. Jackie on this episode. We had Quad on this episode. Quad was at the party at Sheree's house. Yeah, you know, they'll pop up here and there. But Dr. Jackie is the doctor for Sonya and the pregnancy. Lil Deuce wants a sister. And, you know, I think he was kind of just going through like his terrible twos and all of that. When we first seen him, 2s or 3s or wherever he was. But Deuce was so well behaved at the doctor's office. That was like, I said, check out Deuce. He growing up. He's turning into like he's a little boy now. He's not no baby anymore. He's like a little boy. He was so well behaved down at the doctor's office. And, you know, when they're filming this stuff, it's not like a regular doctor's visit. You know, they were there for probably a good old long time. But he was so well behaved. But, yeah, so we know we're going to have some struggles with this pregnancy because, of course, due to the age, it's being, you know, considered a geriatric pregnancy. I don't like that term either. I don't like that term either. It just sounds bad. You know, geriatric. You talk about a woman that ain't even 40. Geriatric. Like, if you don't stop it. If you call me geriatric, honey, I'm like, what you say, honey? No, you won't. Geriatric. Anyway, let me take my old ass on. So then we get to see we got Candy, Monyetta, and Drew. Okay. They're having this whole conversation about the whole thing with Courtney. And Drew is like, listen, she's just Courtney. She's not cousin Courtney. She ain't none of my cousin. Like, she's like pretty much done with Courtney. Courtney, you know, you keep getting this still. Courtney's like, I don't even use the word bitch. I don't this, that, thing, and the other. And child, the footage is on the phone. Monyetta showed the footage on the phone to Drew. And Candy's like, well, wait a minute. She's pointing over at Sonya, but is she really? I don't know. Drew was like, listen, it's good enough for me. What I see, it feels like she's calling me a bitch. I'm not really feeling it. Yeah, I'm not. I ain't feeling that at all. And I laughed so hard at Candy and her daggone confessional. Candy's stupid. When she was talking about, she brought up that Courtney was saying that she never even says the word bitch. And honey, Miss Candy jumped in and had this to say.
The footage says it's a lie, bitch.
Candy's so petty. The footage said it's a lie, bitch. Bitch. I said, Lord have mercy. But yeah, Courtney, you look bad, Courtney. You look a bad girl out in these streets, but it is what it is. Now, here's the other foolishness. Whenever Drew started this, I'm not sure how to act intimate with a woman. And Candy's like, well, we have a coach. We have an intimacy coach that can actually coach you through doing the scenes and all that. We got all that on set for you. That's the other thing. They were doing they're working on a movie. So it's 10 days. Todd is trying to pull a Tyler Perry. And he wants to get it done. Listen, everybody can't do that, Todd, but you look like you're doing a good job at getting it through. Candy and Todd both have been giving Drew her flowers on the job that she's doing on this movie. So, that's really, really cool. Saving on the budget and just making a lot of smart moves where they're actually filming at their house. Their house is huge. Their house is huge. And that was the one thing Drew was saying something about, I don't know about being comfortable. And I'm like doing some scenes in Candy's bed and this, that, thing, and the other. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, because Candy's house is huge. There's like 2 parts of her house. Like, surely, maybe that's just like an extra bedroom. I can't imagine them being in her actual bedroom, but then she confirmed it later on that some of the scenes were actually done in her actual bed. I said, Candy, now, Miss Candy, girl, I don't know about that. I ain't having nobody all rolling around in my bed. No. Rolling around in your bed, girl. Get out of here. That is weird. But I said, okay. I guess. Anyway, but yeah, it was her actual bed. She confirmed it herself because I surely wrote it in my notes. I said, that's probably a different bedroom. I said, Drew's always putting 20 on 10, but not this time. And she kept on with the, all this stuff about not being comfortable with a woman. And Candy was over there clowning her. And Candy gonna say, if you ask me, honey, it was perfect casting. And I ain't got nothing to say. I said, Candy, you so shady. You are so shady. Anyway, so nobody's buying that, girl. Just get on down there and do what you do. Moving on. But yeah, 10 days. They want to wrap it up in 10 days. And we've seen them really getting it down and getting it going, on there. And she obviously tore up her sex scene. Found out also she hasn't really shared all of the details about what her character ends up doing in the movie and all of that with Ralph. And the nerve of Ralph, because Ralph has been running around doing whatever he wants to do in this marriage and inside and outside of the marriage. And, Ralph, just get out of here with the bullshit and trying to act like you so broke up or you feel some kind of way about anything. Just like, get out of here and sit down. But again, I think there's more to it than just the movie stuff. There's some outside forces that we haven't run into. I think we're going to run into it in this last episode. It's a little more than what's going on in this movie, but we'll see. Anyway, we go over and we see Chez setting up for a party for her grandbaby, old baby Mecca. And this is where she's talking to the party planner and all of that, and Of course, she's saying how she's getting ready to go way over the top with this party. It's a sip and see. It's a sip and see. It's a coming out party for Mecca. It's really for Sheree. It's really for Sheree. Sheree wants to parade her granddaughter in front of people. Child, whatever. Anyway, do you boo? In this instance is where we seeing that back and forth with the old face versus the new face. I wrote it in my notes. I was appalled. I'm appalled that Bravo would even do you like that. Because I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. And we actually could see that you looked way better before. You looked way better before. The work does, for me personally, the work on Sheree's face is a bust. Sheree looks so much better to me before the work. And I know that she's shiny because she's still swollen and all, but Sheree looked better to me before. She looked better to me before. I don't see it. Anyway, her features are what her features are. And this glossed over, swollen version, I just think, I ain't no fan. And this side by side, old look versus the new look, I'm just done with this. It's just a shame that they did her like that. Crazy. Anyway, Marlo gave a foster care event. And here's the thing. She was getting started at first because Sheree wasn't there. And then Sheree actually did end up showing up. And there was this whole big hoopla. I said, that's kind of like, you got all the other girls there, and then you're so worried about Sheree not showing up. And they're like, well, you know what Sheree's doing. She's getting ready for her party, this, that, the other, getting it all stuff. But Sheree left all the people in her house and all that, and she did show up. I was actually genuinely happy for Marlo because she just felt like she needed that validation. Why you need validation from Sheree is beyond me. But okay, that's fine. But I was genuinely happy for her when she showed up for her. And Marlo was clean as hell at that event. She looked good. She was bob, and she really did. She looked good. And Scott Lee actually showed up. He looked nice. And she just she had an actual good scene. I've been begging to have a good scene with Marlo, something where I could say, okay, because I ain't never really been against Marlo until lately. Like this, you've been horrible. You have been horrible, young lady, in this last 2 seasons with this attack of Candy and these low goings. I mean, you always did some, you always was messy, but you just were just extra nonsensical, Let's make it a nonsensical. You were just a damn messy bitch. And this. So I was happy to see you do something that puts you in a good light and you look like you were happy. And I was able to sit back and be happy for you, because I haven't been able to do that in a long time. And I'm like, I feel like I'm just fussing at you. And that's really not my tea, is to be fussing at you. And speaking of, in my comments, I've had some real trolling going on. I got some Drew fans that have been in my comments, and they've been feeling some kind of way about the things that I said about Drew. Really? You must be new here. Suck it up, Buttercup. Drew's an idiot. She's an idiot, and I don't care what you all type down in those comments. The facts are what the facts are. Drew is the resident clown. Do you understand? So it doesn't matter if you get mad at me. She is the resident clown. She provides us with all the clownery that we need. She is a walking, breathing reed. And that doesn't have anything to do with me. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at Drew. She's the one that puts it up there for me to clown her, because she is. Big red wig, floppy shoes and all. It ain't on me. Don't be mad down in them comments. I'm going to comment back.
bitch.
Moving on, baby. They was trying to get me in them comments. Yeah, I don't like all this. You after Drew. I ain't nobody after Drew. Drew's a clown. That old clown ass Drew. Drew's a clown. And I believe Drew be trolling us a lot of times. She's stupid on some other stuff. But some things, I just feel like she's just trolling us. But anyway, I said, oh, look, I didn't even know she had fans. Child of fans that are over there getting in the comments and snapping out. Guess what? Y'all clowns too. Moving right the hell along. Anyway, so speaking of, let's talk about clowning Ralph. Ralph that showed up on the set. When I tell you that Ralph showed up with his patty on, Ralph came in there, baby, and sat his purse down and just went to reading. I said, okay. So Drew's back there and she's, talking her stuff and feeling herself and she's enjoying herself. The fact that Candy and Todd, they're giving her kudos on what she's doing and, affirmations on everything. And she feels good about herself for a change. For a change, she ain't crying and whining, okay? But before Ralph got there, she was shading the whole production, talking about, I don't want to do no more of these little productions like this. I really want to do like something that's like Lifetime and above. See what I mean? See what I mean, Drew fans? She don't want to do these little productions no more. She wants to do something Lifetime or above. But you were so happy to jump on this and do this because wasn't nobody beating your door. Lifetime and above ain't beating your door down, Drew. You needed this just as much as they needed you for this. Now shut it up. She's a clown. You cannot stop being the clown for one moment. You are the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Hashtag RHOA resident clown. Moving on, bozo. Ralph got started. First of all, he shows up. Ralph got on this too little ass Givenchy sweater. Where are you going? Where are you going, Ralph? Do you know that sweater is too little? It's too little. Ralph got a nice body, but that sweater is too little, baby. I said, Lord have mercy. If he moved the wrong way, it's going to snap up the back. I said, Lord have mercy. Hilarious. Jumps right in there. And just gave the assistant, the blue gonna say, are you gonna be able to squeeze on up out of there? Well, why is you coming for that man? Like I said, Ralph came inside his purse on the table and just started reading. Are you gonna be able to squeeze yourself up out of there? I said, oh, in the trailer. From sitting in the thing. I said, just rude. That was so rude and unnecessary. Then he gets down there and he tells Drew, ain't nothing out after 3 a.m. but streetwalkers. I said, oh. So you come in and call your wife old nasty piece of whore. I said, oh my. She said, when I came in, you were sleeping. Then when I woke up, you were gone. He told her, yeah, because ain't nothing outside after 3 a.m. but streetwalkers. I said, oh my. You should know. You should know. Ain't nothing away from home for multiple days but a cheater, honey. Like that. Just gone and don't nobody know where you... Move on. Shady. Then she was saying to him about how she didn't realize that she would, but she was really connected with the character. He's like, she said, she's like a mother and she's real serious and she's this and she's that. He said, and she's a lesbian. I said, I said, Ralphie, stop throwing slugs at your wife. We ain't got to what it is you talking about, but we know. Honey, I said, oh, girl. I said, Ralphie got it for you, girl. So he got some shit for you, honey. I said, oh my. Ralph's petty was on with a capital P. You hear me? He was going in. Then he started this whole question. about the sex scene, and he was all, did you have an orgasm? Did you kiss her? Did you give her some tongue? Did you? He was purposefully making her uncomfortable. And he's like, I want to see it. I was like, all of this goes much deeper than this movie. And I'll be glad when we get to it next week. All of this goes, this line of questioning here, all of this goes deeper than this movie. Ralph is really giving you shady bitch. And he's just at Drew's neck. I said, girl, he's ready to play divorce court with you. He really is, honey. He's ready to play. Anyway, let's go over to Sheray's, to her party. Over there at her party, everything's going good. She did like nude. Candy had got a call from Kenya and said she was going to wear fuchsia, but the colors for the party was actually nude. She really wanted everybody dressed in nude. Some goon showed up with, I think it was Kenya, with baby blue on. I said, ain't nothing like a hard-headed friend to the show. Child, somehow I bopped her with a piece of cake. But anyway, the person, it was good that Candy switched up and wore a nude outfit. The outfit was kind of tired. I was like, "Where you, girl? You look like you're going to Dave and Buster's." But I was like, "All right, whatever." But Sheree wore a fuchsia strapless mermaid gown. I was like, "Girl, you in this gown?" And it was ridiculous. Child, she goes and she gets this baby. The baby was just sleepy. Sleepy. The baby was falling asleep. I said, that's horrible. Leave the baby alone. She's a pretty little thing. But and she's starting, I see Cairo in her. I see Cairo in the baby. But Mecca's pretty. She's pretty. And she was falling asleep, trying to keep her up. I was like, what's the purpose you're going to make her cry? And then later on, we start hearing her cry, and I start getting irritated because just let her fall asleep. It don't matter. They're ogling at her any old way, taking pictures. She just is pretty when she sleep, and she's even more pretty when she sleep because she is at peace. She was peaceful. Y'all was getting on her damn nerves trying to keep her woke, and y'all was making me mad. Anyway, Lisa was there. Lisa Wu was there. Like I said, Quad was there. Apollo was there. Bunch of folks. Cynthia showed up sharp as hell. Cynthia, listen, Cynthia knows how to play this game. She got it down. You only got a few minutes. Make it count. Her divorce is finalized. She good. Cynthia was looking good, good, good. I said, come on through here, Cynthia. Drew shows up, and here she goes with a stab out, a little bit of a storyline. Oh, she calls Candy. There's a man in there who he assaulted me. I said, who assaulted you, girl? What happened? It was that Anthony. And yes, I believe Sheree was being messy by inviting Anthony because Anthony and Sheree was at it, child. Her older sister, he the one ran around told us that you don't pay. So you don't be forgiving nobody for nothing. Girl, you don't. You invited Anthony there to get at Drew. And Drew's like, I'm not coming in. This, that thing, and the other, and on and on and on. And Candy went out, and it was just ridiculous. Then Candy comes in, and Candy is actually talking to Anthony. That conversation got on my nerves. Anthony, I just wanted to punch him in his forehead because he was doing the most. He wanted all the smoke with Drew. Like, you're not, boy, get out of here. That bitch, so forth and so on. Shut up. Just shut up. Her husband and he was just doing the most. I was like, now, right now, Anthony, I'm going to say it. You acting like a big old goddamn sissy, and ain't nobody got time for these faggoty games that you playing. I said it. I didn't like it. It didn't look good. She pretty much did well by not coming in because your energy, you was going to give her too much. And truly, if you gave her all of what you was trying to give Candy, somebody needs to slam you on your back. Because that's you just doing too much. Got on my last nerve. So he threw a shoe at her in the club. So she threw her purse at me. Just shut up. And the fact that you let Sheree use you. because she used you, stupid. She don't like you. You think Sheree likes you? She don't like you, stupid. She used you for some drama at her party. Just get on, dummy. Moving on. Then Kenya and the Martell. Kenya goes and she wants to talk to Martell. Why? And Martell was like, was thinking I talked to you for a minute. He's like, oh, I don't know. He ain't need to talk to Kenya because Kenya ain't said shit. You ain't said Nathan. Nathan, you get over there, he apologizes to you, and then you don't apologize to him. Well, I apologize for you feeling like that. That ain't no apology. You just basically dug the knife and stood 10 toes down on what you said, and you lied. And Bravo showed you like I never cursed at you. You did, and you called him out of his name. Neither one of y'all was right in the situation. It was what it was. Y'all both was acting like bitches, the two of y'all. And you were being a bitch tonight by bringing it up, and you just wanted some camera time because you wasn't interested in trying to fix it. You wanted more camera time, and you wanted to try to make yourself seem right. Didn't like it. Was no good look, and it was stupid, and he shouldn't have never talked to you at all. Kenya being Kenya. Anyway, Bob, why? Why? You showed that good, grandpapa. That's fine. But this whole who's that girl with Bob? And they thought, oh, is it that his girlfriend? Oh, she kind of looks like him. Here it is, an extra daughter, a daughter that Sheree supposedly didn't even know that he actually had. I don't believe that. And what we're not doing, Bob, we're not welcoming you with open arms back to the show for anything. We're just not going. We don't want you, period. We don't care. Sheree don't never have a storyline, and all she does is carry bones back and forth. We'll take that. We don't want no more of you, period. And that was just clamoring at a storyline for Bob to come back on. Get out of here. We don't want no Bob. We don't want no Bob. That's it, and that's all. We don't want none of that. He could just get on out of here. Get right on out of here. Anyway, that was basically it. And it was his daughter. Her name's Candace. Just disrespectful. It just bye. Goodbye. Get out of here. Anyway, but I think it's one episode left, and we're going to get down to the whole Drew, and I'm sure the Drew fans are going to be real happy next week because we're going to get to the crux of the Drew and the Ralph fallout and Ty and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. I know y'all mad, honey. Y'all going to be madder than that when we wrap this up because I'm sure I'm going to end up dragging. Ciao. So see you here because y'all be back because that's what fans do. They get mad at me and then they come back. Whew. The fans, my folks hang out with me, but the fans get mad at me and come back. I don't know why you mad. Nothing to be mad about. It just is what it is. It's right there in your face. She's a clown. Anyway, let me quit picking. All right, y'all. Ciao. What I think about Drew, Eddie? Bye, y'all.